You all have way more time than you think. If you put your phone down and don't use it, you will be amazed at just how long a day actually is. Coach Greg, in today's video, I quit every modern day poison for a week.
Now, here's the list of the 10 things I'm quitting.
And so we got processed food, sugar, artificial sweeteners, caffeine, gluten, seed oils, alcohol, microplastics, social media, binge watching. Guys, you don't have to quit all 10. That would be asking for too much. But if you could just eliminate, let's say, half or even just one, it could make a significant difference to your life. Why not just reduce it? Perhaps consume it, but only at 50%. Doom scrolling alone for myself, if I could cut that down to half, there's no way I could stop completely. I would have so much more time to do other things. And so one thing I won't be doing is stopping my supplements, for example, GO2 Max and Turk Platinum. I really don't think that those are ruining your life, that they're poisons. Pick your poison. From this list of 10 things, could you pick 5, cross out those 5 for a week, and see if your life gets any better?
Everything that you think looks to be good, you just check the back, and then there's something they slip in to humble you. I'm gonna have to start my own farm and garden or something. I'm being that guy looking for Greek yogurt in a glass container.
Clearly, to take it to this extent, I would actually deem you as being orthorexic if you were at the point where you couldn't have anything that touched a plastic, or if you had to have only fresh fruit, it had to be grass-fed. To me, this is going too far. Is it possible that some of these things are bad? Well, of course there is, but what else could be bad? Too much time in the sun? And what about breathing the air? I mean, Will literally lives in Ontario. There's going to be some fumes. You go into a city, and so you gotta kind of live a little. It's okay to try to limit these poisons, but you shouldn't be obsessed nonetheless.
And I'm already having a very hard time just trying to figure out what to do with my hands.
You could Greg your Doucette, although I do believe that people would call that another modern day poison. But is it actually a poison if you're not watching anything? But I digress.
The amount of times I'm going for my phone, it's scary.
You know you're addicted to your phone when you forget it somewhere. For example, I was invited with my friends to go have supper the other night, and I left the house, forgot my phone. I realized this about halfway there, but I didn't want to be late. I wasn't going to turn around, and so I said, I'll just go to the restaurant. And so when I got there, I then thought, but which restaurant would they ask me to go? They just said restaurant, they named it, and they said 6:30, whatever. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. And I didn't even remember the name of the restaurant because I'm so used to having my phone with me that I'm like, well, I'll check it later. Not to mention directions. How do I get to these places? And so I had to go to 4 restaurants in search of these guys, trying to find out exactly which one. When you are at a restaurant, how often are you tempted to check your phone? You go to the bathroom, you're looking at your phone, you're waiting for your meals to come out, you're looking at your phone. And so you're always in search of that dopamine, that little hit. It's just enough to have you keep coming back for more.
Like I said, I don't read, so I really have no idea what to pick.
And so if Will is looking to something to read, he could, of course, pick up the Circle Diet book, How to Lose Weight and Get in Shape for the Rest of Your Life. You can get this on my website. There's, of course, the cookbook. And if you're interested in seeing, world records around the world, for example, Coach Greg's Guinness World Record, that is in this book as well.
One of the worst things that you can do before bed is just scroll on your phone. It's terrible, which is the reason why I got a book.
And so definitely if you have trouble sleeping before bed and you start reading, it's much easier to get to sleep. When I'm trying to read before bed, I actually find it frustrating because I can only get through perhaps 1.5 pages, and then I'm so tired I have to reread the same page over and over again. I'm thinking, just read 1 chapter before bed and you're good. But I can't even get to that point. And so if you're struggling to get to sleep, rather than Mepsigram purchasing every single skin cream known to man, all 10 phases, I can't even name them, perhaps put the phone down and read a book.
My head is feeling a bit off. The headache is starting to come on right now, and my body is definitely noticing the absence of certain substances, mainly caffeine and artificial sweeteners.
I don't think any of you would notice the benefit from stopping artificial sweeteners. Almost nobody would feel that, but caffeine, When you go from drinking a lot of caffeine to none, you will experience withdrawal. You're going to get headaches. Remember, I say this from experience. I used to consume about 1 gram of caffeine each and every day. I stopped consuming caffeine for 30 days. It was very, very hard. In particular, the first few days with the headaches and so on, the lack of energy. But after a while, if you don't consume caffeine, you're going to feel back to normal. And let me tell you this, when I reintroduced caffeine, I was having 1 scoop of pre-workout. It wasn't this brand, it was an older one back in the day. I still have 1.5 bottles of it left. Just 1/2 scoop, and I literally felt like I was high. I felt like I was on drugs. I couldn't believe the feeling. And so when you stop consuming all these poisons, you will quickly realize just how much effect they actually have.
I can't even remember the last time I sat and ate lunch outside. Also without my phone or my laptop. Like, my tongue's getting worked, not my thumb. I feel like I'm actually tasting the food today. And I'm present with it.
And this is so true. Many of us, we eat while watching TV. We eat while being preoccupied. We don't just sit with our foods and enjoy it. And I do believe that we eat more food when we're distracted. When you're watching TV and eating, it's as if you don't even get to experience what you're enjoying. And so try at least once in a while to eat perhaps outside without a laptop in front of you, without watching TV, and see if you've consumed fewer calories.
So I'm just trying to be outside as much as I possibly can. Just do different things, and eventually it will not feel as weird. But on the bright side, my cravings and desires are significantly less than day 1, which is good.
And so already on day 2, the addictions, the feelings that he had of needing to do those things, they're already starting to go down. It isn't always going to feel hard. That's what she said last night, unfortunately.
What this challenge really has revealed to me is that I have a shocking amount of free time. Like, I am the most available man in North America.
And so what Will is describing is that you all have way more time than you think. Many of you say, I don't have time to go for a walk. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to watch Coach Greg and chill. You actually do. You're just choosing to spend that time doing stupid shit like doom scrolling or swiping left and swiping right. If you put your phone down and don't use it, you will be amazed at just how long a day actually is. There's 24 hours in a day. Perhaps 8 of those are spent sleeping and 16 remain when you're awake. You start crossing out all the things you're doing. 8 hours at work, 2 hours eating. There's still going to be several hours left in your day that you get to decide how you spend it. And so rather than spending it on your phone, doom scrolling and so on, why not spend some of that time outside? At the gym, exercising, doing something productive in your life. Could you learn a 2nd or 3rd language? Could you start reading? Could you be inviting your friends over or perhaps going for visits? Back in the day, people would walk over, talk with their friends. Hey, hello, how are you? Let's do this, let's do that. In today's day and age, people just sit on their phones or their game console and they ignore the rest. It's okay to get with people, to do things together, to come together. Since that time when we had to wear those stupid Halloween masks, the world hasn't been the same.
I think at this point, I'd rather a nonstick pan and a plastic spatula to make my freaking omelet. That wooden spatula is a double agent because sure, it's protecting me from microplastics, but then it just ruined my omelet. It's like literally every single thing sticks to it. So frustrating.
Exactly. Like, you can only do so much. These 10 things, it's an amazing experiment, but the reality is you don't need to do all these 10. Like, I'm not training my frying pan nor my spatula in order to somehow reduce the plastics. Like, I don't care. Like, is that really what's going to take me out? Of all the things that are bad in this world, that is not one of them. You really think I'm concerned with cooking on a non-stick pan with a spatula? No, compared to the things that I've done throughout my life, this is a 1 out of 10 problem, and I will keep going.
I also don't know if my taste buds are just recovering from artificial sweetener or sugar trauma, but every day that goes by, the fruit tastes sweeter than ever. Nature's candy.
You know what else does that? Dieting. Will has lost 1.7 pounds in this experiment. And so it's not just not using artificial sweeteners, it's also The leaner you are, the better everything tastes. Will, for certain, he remembers this. Remember, Will is a bodybuilder. He won his natural bodybuilding pro card. When you diet down and get shredded, and once you get down to single-digit body fat, everything seems to taste great. That is why I made this book. When I'm eating these meals and these recipes while dieting single-digit body fat, to me, they taste better than it would for you being full-fat, pizza, cake, everything. The reason for that is because when your body goes without food, it enhances everything. When you eat a bite and you're starving, that bite is delicious. But when you're already full, frankly, you could do without. And so if you want more foods to taste better, get down to a healthy body fat percentage. For men, which is 96% of the people watching this video, it's 15%. Anything less than that is for the aesthetics. 15% is perfectly healthy. 10 to 12% if you're just going for supreme aesthetics. You know, you want to have that beach bod. Perhaps you're flexing for the ladies on the beach. And for women, 18 to 22%, that is for athletes. But 25%, that is for your health. And so you don't need to get shredded. You don't need single-digit body fat. But you also shouldn't be fat. There's somewhere in the middle. And so, for example, the average woman who's 5'3.5" inches tall and 171.6 pounds and is in fact obese, you should lose some weight. The foods that you're eating right now, those meals that you're making, they're shit. Like, they're disgusting. You're putting in all that extra sugar, all that extra fat because you're so fat that you don't like the taste of natural foods. If you were leaner, you dieted down from around 39%, which is about average, to 25%, you would find you don't need all that sauce. You don't need all that sugar. You could eat a healthier diet like Will's showing you, and it would actually taste good. You could eat from my cookbook and you would enjoy it. And so maybe try a little bit.
When I'm thinking about Coke Zeros, it kind of grosses me out now when I drive by certain restaurants that I used to think were good. I just think about it more and I'm like, ew, that's kind of gross. I pass by gas stations, I'm like, those are mini Chernobyls. You know, there's just so much processed junk in there.
It's so weird because it's rare that I would ever go and buy anything in a gas station. Like when I drive by a gas station, the only thought I have is they have gas. Like, it doesn't enter my head that I should go in there and buy some kind of an energy drink or a chocolate bar. None of that stuff. I just don't do that.
This steak is 830 calories, and I'm not even worried about it.
There's way more than 830 calories in that steak, but hey, I digress.
The deeper I got into the week, the more obsessed I became with avoiding every possible poison. The problem was, the more I looked, the more I found, and it quickly became overwhelming.
I'm pretty sure the char on meat is also considered a poison. I can't even keep up anymore.
Absolutely it would be. It's a carcinogen. The World Health Organization does in fact warn people to not eat burnt meat.
I've heard when people take GLP-1s, it eliminates the food noise, it eliminates food cravings. For me, eating like this has given me the exact same effect. I'm the type of person where food makes up like 90% of my brain. It's all I think about, maybe even 100% of my brain.
And so if you can do like Will and give up all these poisons for life, well, you're one of the 0.01% of people that can. If you're a normal human being and you would like to lose weight and have less food noise, you can of course pick up GLP Max, reduce your cravings by 28%, and go from an 8 out of 10 hunger to a 6. Or if you need something even stronger, you can get a GLP at Algo RX from compounding pharmacies prescribed by doctors, so you know exactly what you're getting. This is not some research chemical bullshit, some site where they get perhaps some sketchy supplements from China and you're hoping it's legit. It is compounding pharmacies that make it. Doctors prescribe it. And if you want to compare prices, please go to Merrick Health. You know, compare it to them. You probably have heard of Merrick Health. Go to Merrick Health, see how much they're charging for everything, and then go to Algorex, and when you see how much cheaper it is at Algorex, you'll thank me later. And on top of that, you can use code Greg for your discount. It's a win-win. I make money because I'm a part owner of Algorex, and you save a ton. Don't tell me I didn't do anything for you.
This is literally just one ingredient. Replacing my ice cream with banana. I feel primal. Wait a minute. Is midday sun a poison? I think it is.
Yeah, see, that's unfortunately, you could get skin cancer from too much sun. You get sunburn. This is not good. So you have to limit your exposure to the sun. Now, don't get me started on using sunscreens. I'm a firm believer in using the sunscreens. Many people say that is going to give you cancer, but I digress.
But maybe my next stop will.
I'm raw dogging a coffee shop right now. Oh, this one's hard. Imagine taking an alcoholic to Oktoberfest. Same thing.
Being surrounded by these lovely smelling beans was brutal.
Wait until Will discovers at the age of 30 a decaf. It could change your life. I drink coffee every morning. Decaf. There is no caffeine.
More than anything, this was a much needed reset for my body. Maybe we all need to step away every once in a while and reconnect with the things that actually matter. Before you know it, it starts to feel like these poisons never had as much control as you thought.
Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algo. Don't forget to go to AlgoRx and of course watch one of the two bloops if you want to get sponsored or if you'd like to be an ambassador. Be coached by me or myself and my team or sell all these amazing supplements of which you cannot see, but there is a lot in your stores or gym. Please go to the website, click, and don't forget to use code Greg for your discount. And until next time, I am out.